Hello everyone, today is the 21st of October and autumn is settling in. An idea that has settled into our thinking as a society is that meritocracy is a good thing. It's a concept that has governed a lot of our understanding of life since the end of the Second World War. What it really says is, you get what you deserve. Talent and hard work equal success. On the surface, it seems to be an unproblematic, no-brainer equation. And I'm sure I'm not alone in finding something appealing and attractive in it. But if you look beneath the surface a little, it does have a shadow side. Whatever its advantages, an obvious drawback is that we don't all start with a level playing field. At a deeper level, if success is distributed according to merit, what does that say about those who have not achieved success? Doesn't meritocracy in many ways imply that the unsuccessful, the poor, the unhappy and the sick are less meritorious? To some extent, we can even come to see them as responsible for their own predicaments and failures. They have no one to blame but themselves for the state they're in. This is more than a modern issue. It's really what the book of Job is all about. As you probably know, Job suffered a jaw-dropping run of catastrophes and afflictions. His friends linked his multiple misfortunes to some supposed and suspected hidden moral failure. If Job would only identify it and fess up, God would forgive him and restore moral balance. Whatever his tribulations, he is simply getting what he deserves. Job never, ever, ever accepts this. Now, I know that self-praise is no recommendation, but surely we're expected to accept there's some degree of truth in Job's claim that he has rescued the poor who cried for help and the orphans who had no one to look after them. This was a man who put on righteousness like his clothes. Justice was his robe and turban. He was eyes to the blind and feet to the lame. He was a father to the needy and stood up for the stranger. God eventually intervenes in the dispute between Job and his friends. God tells the comforters they've got it all wrong. Job isn't being punished. Suffering and failure are necessarily neither indication nor proof of moral fault. It has to be said, though, that God does not make clear why Job is suffering. Instead, God dramatically, and it has to be said at great length, underlines that human knowledge has its limits in every age, even the most sophisticated. And that is true, as coronavirus has graphically demonstrated for us. But importantly, God refuses the link between suffering and failure. When you think about it, Job's comforters were an early version of today's meritocrats. But getting ahead, especially financially, is not always the rightful reward for effort and talent. It is not evidence of virtue. Equally, not getting ahead, especially financially, is not always the result of inability or laziness. It is no indicator of real value. In its way, coronavirus has uncovered the limitations of the meritocracy approach. For it has revealed just how much we all rely on those who are not blessed with vast levels of worldly success. Instead, so many of these people have been driven by a desire to serve their fellow human beings. At its core and at its best, our faith reminds us that irrespective of success or failure and how we interpret those terms, all people have intrinsic worth. So, don't ever let anyone tell you or imply to you that you deserve whatever hardship you are going through. Don't ever let that thought enter your head, particularly in these difficult times when so much is fragile and frightening. With harvest so close in the rearview mirror this year, we need to remember that the rain falls on the righteous and the unrighteous alike. There is a degree of randomness in life, and there are things we will never know. But harvest also reminds us that God cares for everybody, and in the cycles of nature produces enough for everybody to have a worthwhile life. It's up to us together to make it happen. The psalmist says, "The highest heavens belong to the Lord, but the earth God has given to humanity." Given to us, it seems to me, to make fair, inclusive, just arrangements, not based on questionable notions of merit. God bless. Bye for now.